Hello, all my beautiful friends. I'm your host, Samantha, and welcome to the Mooncast. Now, I know I said I was going to do a podcast on Stoicism and Epicureanism in this last week's post, but a funny thing happened. I get the most inspiration to do things in the morning when I very first get up. I would love to be the kind of person that gets up and meditates and exercises or what have you, but I'm not. I literally get up, I get a nice hot cup of coffee, and it may sound silly, but perhaps you've talked about people or you've heard about people getting quote unquote downloads, and that's kind of what this feels like. I don't know if that's the case, but I just get inspiration early in the morning. So I will save Stoicism and Epicureanism for a podcast probably next week or in the future. But today I wanted to talk about age. Now, we do not live in an aging-friendly society. If you watch TV at all or basically live in modern society, you are bombarded with the idea that you need to be eternally youthful, and these companies with their advertising will make sure you know that their product can do that for you. But I think we are really missing out on something when we don't acknowledge and honor the different stages and aging in general in our lives. With age comes a certain wisdom, usually. And wisdom is just the ability to take experiences and knowledge and kind of weave it into your life. That's one reason that I like tabletop gaming so much, is you have your character that you create, and then there's a spot for wisdom and there's a spot for intelligence, and those scores are separate. And that is actually one of the best ways I've found that really resonated with me about how to separate the two. Now, it's important to say that not everyone gains wisdom when they age. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. Some people just become stagnant and they don't grow. But there are many of us who have made growth and wisdom a lifelong pursuit. And I just really think that we're missing out by not tapping into that resource. Even Instagram has come out to say that they push younger people's content. And while I think we should all get our fair share of exposure and whatnot, I'll keep saying it, but I really feel like we're missing out by not seeing content from older men and women. And that is one thing that I really appreciate about a lot of magical systems, is that they honor what's commonly referred to as the Maiden, the Mother, and the Crone. Each phase of our lives has something to offer. For example, the Maiden, in my opinion, reminds me to be free, more carefree and fearless with my self-expression. And it really brings out that energetic vibe of just life in general. The mother aspect helps me to stay focused and to be able to get things done. And the Crone aspect, in all of her gained wisdom, helps me to remember to keep an open mind and to continue to grow, because I haven't reached Crone status yet. I still have quite a few years before I'm there, but I almost look forward to it. And I almost look forward to it because I feel that the wisdom gained once you reach the Crone aspect can really lead to a more peaceful life, hopefully. When I think of magic associated with these different phases of life, I think for the Maiden, I would associate that with abundance and fertility. When I think about, for example, financial abundance and balance, I think of the mother. And when I think about banishing and protective magic, I also think of the mother with protective magic, of course, but I think that the Crone sort of encapsulates that protective and banishing those energies, because basically the Crone is just not taking any of your crap. She's just done. And this doesn't have to be applied to only women, of course. There are many archetypes, and these same concepts can be applied to men in the same way. I don't think that we need to stop at just the female aspect of these energies, because that's essentially what they are. Personally, in the last couple weeks, I've really been tapping into some Maiden energies, especially now in the summer and all of those very active energies, and having fun and exploration and expression. And I'll admit, it's made getting work done a little difficult. So I've had to reel that in a little bit, but it's nice to tap into those different phases of life and use them when you need to. But the way that we view age in our modern society, it just isn't serving us. We're so hyper-focused on being forever young, and I think that's to our detriment. As always, I am forever seeking balance. I'm not saying that there isn't value in being young. What I'm saying is that there is an imbalance, and that I feel as a society we would really benefit by tapping into these different types of energies and honoring them. I have seen so many accounts on places like Instagram of these beautiful older women and these wise older men, and they are just a balm to my soul. I appreciate them. But there are few and far between. They are few and far between. And you have to really search them out. One more aspect of this conversation I'd like to add is that by honoring these phases of our lives, we are definitely coming more into contact and connection with nature. We can honor the birth, the life, and the death. Right now, everything is more so centered on the birth and the life, and we are choosing to not see aging and death. And they are as natural as anything else in this life. And by acknowledging these phases and how they all are just, they're cyclical. They move in a cycle. We can better understand our own lives. So this is pretty impromptu. I didn't even make any notes, but I wanted to share this with you. But I believe that's all I have to say. So thank you all so very much for coming, and I'll see you next week.